replay here. Where'd it go? It was Cannon Rush in particular. Bada bing, bada boom. Ley lines. What was this? Gold versus silver, so pretty low. We're following Brendemon. Or Brendemon. I would absolutely love to see that overload on a hotkey, just to give you a bit more. Hang on a sec, I might just turn down the game sounds. I don't know what's going on, but it keeps go away. Keeps switching me out of keep changing my settings. Yeah, 62 is way too loud, bro. Like 40. And I want the responses on. For some reason that really bugs me in game. The reason we want this overlord here is to spot them trying to cannon rush us. So straight away, this is a red flag. The reason I would like my overlords on a hotkey is so I can keep an eye on them. We saw the probe. This is very early. This is like a pylon, yeah? Yep. And do we see... He's smart enough to wait to show you the second probe. So what is the... Yeah. It's 102. We need our spawning pool to go down. It's not. We saw the probe go in. Need to be suspicious of all this, right? We saw the probe go in and we didn't see it emerge anywhere. It's obviously cannon rushing us. It's as clear as day to anyone that's experienced this before. If the probe doesn't show itself again, then you're in trouble, right? Because what is it doing? It should just be going into your main, having a little peek, and then probably leaving. I'm guessing the second probe is just a backup probe. We see Forge. There is something you could do in this scenario, right? You could, once this is done, build Lings, send them over here, and actually block this off with a hatchery. It's not going to build in time for you to get there. I mean, he could build cannons, but he's wasting money on that, which means he's not building them here either, which means you might actually get to keep the hatchery. And then you can just cancel the hatch, let the Lings in, and the game's yours. This hatchery is incredibly late too. We've scouted like everywhere except where this is. It's one base, he's got a cannon. We weren't watching up here. Just cancel it, bro. No, too late. I mean, getting a queen out is alright. What's this for? What's a spore crawler for? You worried about air? He cannot cannon rush you and have air at the same time. It can't work. And you're probably not really understanding the timing of this, so an oracle or something can be out at like 3:30, 4 minutes. Behind this cannon rush, you're probably not gonna see one till like 5 minutes. Kill the probe. That's great. Nah, we don't want to fight this. So what you could do here, cancel this, build a Nidus, and then you just Nidus into his base. He's got nothing here, he hasn't even got a gateway still, except for this one, sorry. So like, he can maybe make some units and then like walk them in, but realistically, a Nidus is the way to go. And so I prefer to have a spine crawler here, Spine Crawler here prevents him from just charging like a Zealot up. It's not going to stop the Zealot if a Zealot wants to walk past. It's not going to stop an Adept, but rarely for some reason. They don't seem to be doing Adepts that often. That's unfortunate to almost lose the Zealot to the Broodlords for no reason, but that's actually quite smart, right? Because he had this probe sitting there the entire time. He was waiting for you to take your third. So just next time the injects need to be happening, but you just go for a lair, go for a Nidus, and drop it in his base. He's got nothing here. Literally nothing here. Ah, this is so painful. We're so close to seeing it. Please get a lair. Please get a lair. You can't get speed. Like, these Lings aren't going to do anything versus this. Spine Crawler here. Really good decision. Love this, but this is going to do us absolutely nothing. We need to be on his side of the map to be denying him his bases. This is a close fight with a little bit of pullback micro. So this one, yeah, nah, that's not it. Nah. Because now you're going to lose the Lings. Lose the hatch. Yeah. Wasn't worth it. And you half killed a cannon. Floating a ton of money. We have no direction now. The game's basically over. Because we have no idea what we're doing now. The Queens could at least be coming down to spread creep, so you can at least keep an eye on him. We are pumping more Queens. If you want to go speed as well, you've got literally no lava because you're on one base, a single hatch. Like, you can't... What is he doing with just like one gas? One guy in each gas. Like, this is enough to prevent him from walking up. Amassing Spine Crawlers. This could have been 2 roaches. This could have been 2 roaches. You're floating a ton of gas. So these could have actually been 2... almost 4 Ravagers that we've lost by making these, right? Do you want to be aggressive or do you want to be defensive? You need to pick one. And so you've kind of towed the line between being inside both, and it's not going to pan out because you can't make roaches off a 1 base economy like this and also build like 3 spines and like 10 queens and a bunch of speedlings. The best thing you could do here is get roaches out as quick as possible. We got supply blocked at the worst possible time again. We've got all these queens, and we're not pulling off any injects as well. He could have easily had air units out by now and made this so much worse. So are we building roaches now? We're still building overlords? Okay. We're building a layer. Again, we're getting into tech that I don't think we're going to need because we're not going to be able to use it. What's got me worried is if he's going to lure... He's going to come up the hill with the Stalker, go back, and then we're going to kind of get lured into it. You have enough queens here that I don't think you need to be worried about the air unit count for a while. If all these get turned into Ravagers, this is a very easy kill. You just come down here, bar this every 9 seconds or whatever it is, 7 seconds. You come down and you remove a building entirely, right? You give it no room to heal. You just bile all over the top of it. This is. I just don't feel like this is adding anything. What tech are you going to get from the lair that's going to help you here? I do like the creep spread. I wish we had more of it because we'd like to be able to see around the corner here. This is amazing, by the way. This is great. This is going to help you a lot in all your games. I built the Stargate and then without making a single unit went straight into the Robo. You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense. Please make Ravagers. Please don't run down there. We've made so many Roaches now that we can't afford to make them into Ravagers. We need to build more Overlords. Again. This is an easy breakout. It's a very easy breakout with what you have. It might be a bit of a slow burn, but he's got no chance. I'm very curious to see what this tech is. Now, we got Overlords. What are we doing? We're making more Roaches. We don't want Roach speed. A real Phoenix. That seems like a really, really weird choice. There's so much better air units that can come out of this. This feels like a very typical cannon rush game for this level, I guess. Oh, put it inside. Oh, don't. Like, he's got a detector here, but he's already got cannons. I guess he needs the high ground vision, right? But like, oh. We're making roaches, but they're just not good enough. We're gonna keep getting lured back here until we can, well, we can just F2. Just F2, put everything on number 2, and be here, ready to go. We've lost a bunch of injects as well by not doing them. You're actually massively outsupplying him too. Oh, this is funny. That's what we wanted the tech for. You could have built a Nidus and done the same thing for cheaper, and it would have been less slow. Because we didn't get overload speed. Are we getting it? No. We're happy with this. If you are going to do something like that, I would recommend you at least hotkey it so you can quickly go and fix it. Now we're in trouble. Now we're on a timer, right? These could all be Ravagers, and you could just bile this down and get a free win. We're not even transfusing the Queens, we're letting them walk down. F2, put everything on 2, put the Queens into another control group, and be ready. Are we going to transfuse? Please tell me we're transfusing. We should be using, when we've got this much energy, we should be transfusing every chance we get. That's a really cool Overseer. Again, in a straight up fight versus Ravagers, this army sucks. Your army supplies ahead. Yes, he's got cannons, but again, with the Ravagers, you outrange it. Unless we keep feeding him units like this. A roach, a roach, a roach. Yeah, a Nidus is the way to go, man. If you pull off a quick Nidus against a cannon rush and don't win it, send me the replay and I'll tell you why. Like, these, I thought when we went for the gas, we were going for Ravagers, right? Ravagers just wreck this. You can bile these down, and you can probably bile these down from the ground. In fact, I probably might take control of this at the end and show how it's supposed to be done, because this is just, we're just very clumsy here. We should be getting Overlord speed instead of more Queens, so we can bring drones over to here, since we obviously want to play this game. How long is this? 23 minutes of this. Okay, we're going to speed it up a little bit. Again, we had so many opportunities to break out of this. We keep greenboxing our army and our drones together and sending them in. When we could, you could just F2. There's a little button down here. It is not the devil, alright? It is what you make it, right? And if you handle it well, it's actually a really good tool. How does this game possibly go for another 10 minutes? How does this... Now we've got Ravagers. We finally got Ravagers. This is going to give it away. All the drones are going to run down, right? They're going to show that he's got another base, which is a huge dead giveaway, right? If you're ever going to lose a base in a really tight game like this and you don't want to give it away, do not ever let your drones just continue returning minerals somewhere. Ah, this is dead. This is over. This is over. Let's go back to like... Maybe that's too early. It's probably not gonna let me because I'm by myself. No, it will. All right, cool. Return to game. We don't even want the Lings involved, right? Because they're not going to help us here. You could stack these if you're not planning on being aggressive right now. Then there's no need. Put these all on a key. You could put this closer to get it to give it more chance of getting down. And you want to just hold your key like that. So if you don't get the kill, which is fine, that was a misstep by me, you can come back. And it will drain batteries at least, right? At the worst case scenario, it's going to drain batteries. This is a really good spot because he's got you right on the edge. So we can do it here. And realistically, there's nothing he can do with the army he has here. There's nothing he can do about this. And so this could be your cue to just... You can just make Lings during this. Oh, absolutely. I'm just showing him that, like, the Biles should have been the priority from the start. We were massing gas and we weren't using it for some reason. So, as Thrawn has just said, you can just come down here. You can bring the Lings, right? You had less Lings, so we'll just do that. You can bring the Lings. Lings come first. And you just come down here. And you do that. Do they attack by them? Wait, do the cannons attack by themselves? No. Oh, I must have barred myself. But you can come down. Now you shut down that. And now that you've got free will to move out of your base. Gone. And it may seem simple, but honestly, that's what it is. That's all it is. That's all it needs to be. And so we can even rewind. So to where this... When did we realize we were losing the hatchery? Right? So a good Protoss player will actually time the cannons up to be after your hatchery comes out, so you won't see the first hits until like the hatchery is done. And then you have no chance of cancelling it. The supply block sucks. Alright. So we'll just pretend that hatch doesn't exist. We want that there. We'll make some Lings and get them to kill the hatch just so it's not here. Let me go into a lair. We've got him over here. You could try and sneak out a queen, just so you've got something. If you have the spare money, you're welcome to also drop a macro hatch. I think I'd prefer not to, because by the time this pops, you're going to have Lair, you're going to have the Nidus, you're not really going to get a queen out. And so it's not going to really amount to anything. So this, as I said, and you did the same thing here, this is just to kind of deter him from walking up here. Because this plus a couple of queens, or this plus a couple of Lings, will shut down any zealots to try and walk up. And then we're just going to go for a Roach Warren. One more Overlord. Don't forget, this dude didn't get his air tech for a very long time. Want a queen. I always put this on a key. Come back here and die. So we don't want to inject. We want to cross the map as quickly as possible. What do you have? He literally had like 11 probes as well. Like, he doesn't even have enough probes to kill this. Even if you drop this like in his middle line, I really don't think it stops it. And that's it. If he makes a quick air unit, which I doubt he's going to make at this area and at this level, you're alright, because you've got queens coming out, right? You just pump the queens. Everything's going well. That's a free win. Absolutely, it's a free win. At this level, you learn to execute something like this quickly. Free win every single time. Let him have the hatchery. It literally doesn't matter, and it makes him feel like he's in charge, right? He feels like he's won. If he gets the hatchery, he's feeling real proud of himself. But realistically, there's more happening in the game, and he doesn't even realize it yet. And yeah, it's over. So that's it. That's what I would recommend. So the biggest headaches were obviously your first overlord was not in a position to watch that space and see that probe. You either want it probably at the front. You know what? My bad. I probably left it a little bit too early. Yeah, absolutely it was as well. I just worry about... Yeah, sorry, Thorn has mentioned there's space for the... At 2 minutes, 2:15 to run a bunch of lings past and beeline to the probes. Absolutely. But there's also room for... If they get A moved, they get aggroed into the cannons and they just die. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in a simple A move scenario, right? That I'd like to avoid, and if you just notice them... So the first big problem here is the Overlord didn't go here at all. He has no idea. So this probe, if this probe had been lucky enough to just have this path, we don't see it at all. If you see a probe this early in that 40 area, yeah, I know force move, not A move, but who's to say at this level they might get A moved across the map instead of moved. You know what I mean? Like move command. So it's a small thing, but I've seen some incredibly bad move commands and some incredibly bad A moves as well. So the Overlord not being here means he doesn't see the probe coming in. He doesn't see any of that. I don't know if you caught the probe on your vision at all. It's pretty obvious for me though. So I'm looking up when I'm doing all this. I'm keeping a small glance here. I'm looking up in here, looking at my minerals, looking at my supply, and then I'm dipping down to here to scan this as well. So up here we're macroing. Oh, probe, you 100% saw the probe. So you saw the probe, and not only was the probe not... So there's a couple of things, right? He wasn't heading here. If he was queuing into your main base, he would have gone from this point and driven basically in a straight line to here, and then curved around the corner and come up the ramp and said hello. But because we saw the angle he was traveling in, he was heading up here. Right? So he's going to end up somewhere like there, right? Watch. Beautiful. See? So the angle that the probe comes out tells you a lot. Right? If he'd have come from here and curved over this rock up the ramp, or even if he'd come from here and just gone a straight line, that's a lot less sus, right? But the fact is he went to the corner. We should have automatically sent a drone down to chase it. You can send one down to chase it. I think, is this what you intended to do here, but then maybe got distracted or forgot? I don't know. But not having your Overlord here means that this happens for free, right? So if the probe comes in and you don't want to send the drone to chase it, which you're welcome to, but I really recommend just sending a drone on it to keep it honest. Probably bring the Overlord back to over the top so it sees everything pretty much in this square here, and that will hopefully make it a little bit easier for you in the future to decide what you're doing. We're getting the supply block this early is really bad. Could have easily cancelled that. Could have easily cancelled it, right? Built one in your main instead, built the spine, and been well on our way. The queen is like 15 seconds late. What time? I think the pull wasn't poorly timed, right? No, the pull timing is pretty good, right? So, but we're not looking up here. We're building. Why do we have so many drones? Do we have drones being built? All right. So this is a problem, right? You've built one too many drones for what you have here, because you're not going into an extra gas, right? And now it's delayed your queen by an absolute ton. So the only reason this queen gets out is because the hatchery is born, which then it dies, so it kind of kicks us in the face a little bit. So yeah, that drone did not need to happen. That 17th drone literally hurt you a lot more than it needed to. Now, yeah, so if you see a probe or an SCV walking into your base, or walking towards your base, really think about the path it's taking, because that's probably going to tell you a lot more than you realize if you went back and watched the replay. Second one, just leave that first overlord here. Yeah, the run out window was way worse because we're supply blocked. We built a spore at 2:30. We don't know what's going on. Like, this dude is like got one probe on each gas, not even saturated in the main. He's got no chance of getting an air unit out. It took, I think, to like 8 or 9 minutes for him to get his first air unit out. Picking off the probe there was really good. I still feel like this might be too loud still. Yeah, picking off the probe was really good. I think that was great. We do end up building a spine here. But yeah, there's a lot of things we could have done to avoid this. Taking a third base, nah. His tech is so far delayed, and even against a regular, like, Masters level Protoss, the tech is so far delayed that if you go into a really quick Nidus, mate, this should be a very easy win. This beats Masters Protosses. It will definitely beat a gold or a silver level Protoss, hands down. The spine here, absolutely 100% think that's great. We were doing really well here. We would have been better off just killing these zealots, and then we would have had free reign to kill this cannon. Right, we were only a couple of hits away from killing these, a couple of hits away from killing these, and then these cannons are defenseless, and the probe is defenseless. Killing that one cannon did not do enough. Yeah, and then kind of, I just feel like we lost our, what do we do? Like, we just lost direction, which is fair. This is what happens, like, when you're in Silver League. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing here, but we definitely had a bit of a shock to our system here. Went building mass spores and spine crawlers, which building roaches, and then getting into lair tech and building roach speed when you had plenty of gas to just, like, look at this, the placement of this. These spines should have been roaches already. You would have already had 4 Ravagers out, and they could have biled these down. These wouldn't have even survived. These wouldn't have even got up, because he can't defend them from where he is. Zealots can't chase your Ravagers back. The creep spread should have been down to give you a quicker way to retreat. This never gets up. This literally never gets up. If you just don't build these spines, start getting Ravagers out as quickly as possible. That's it. Just a sec. Alright, so that's it for that one. I will pop that up on YouTube as well, so just keep an eye out for that. If you are interested, I will probably send a link to the dude and just let him know that it's up there, and he can have a look and review it in his own time. But yeah, realistically, yeah, the vision is the big issue there. If you don't have vision of it, you can't stop it. Alright. So what else have we got? There was another one here that I wanted to see.